Okay, today we are going to do a video showing you how to do a pre-trip for the test site. First thing we're going to do is a safe start. We're going to put our left hand on the wheel, our right foot covering the brake, making sure the bus is in neutral and the parking brake is set. First thing we are going to do is turn the key to the right, and we are going to do a safe start, and we are going to let our gauges cycle. Okay, now we're going to do our CDL brake check. We're going to pump the brake roughly 3 times. We're going to bleed our tanks down to 90 psi. Now we're going to start the bus. We are gaining our tanks to the governed shutoff, which should be between 120 and 140 psi. And on this particular bus, when you hear it, we will give that number. And the governor shutoff comes on at 121 psi. All right, now we're going to turn the engine to the off position. Turn the key back to the right one more time. Wait for the gauges to cycle. Now we're going to finish our CDL brake check. First thing we're going to do is we're going to release our parking brake. After the initial drop in pressure, it shouldn't drop more than 2 psi per minute. And the gauges level out, and we did not lose more than 2 psi. Now we're going to apply our service brake. After the initial drop in pressure, you shouldn't lose more than 3 psi per minute. And now we are going to hold for 1 minute and time this. But for video purposes, we are going to continue. As you continue to pump the brake, at around 55 psi, your low air buzzer and light should come on. And on this particular bus, it comes on at 61 psi. Continue to pump the brakes, and between 20 and 45 psi, our emergency brake will pop out. And on this particular bus, it popped out at 30 psi. This concludes our CDL brake check. Okay, now after we've completed the CDL brake check, now we're just going to start the bus. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through our gauges. As our air tanks continue to gain, they should be between 110 and 125. Our volts should read between 12 and 14. We should have sufficient fuel for our trip, and we do. Tachometer should read around 700 RPMs. The water temperature should be between 180 and 210. Oil should be between 40 and 60. We should have our DEF reading at half or above, and we should have our amps charging at approximately 0. Now we're going to turn on our headlights. It illuminates our panel, and we can also see in our crossovers our low beams are working. Now we're going to test our high beams. We can see that they're working on our dash and in our crossovers. Now we're going to turn those back off. Now we're going to turn on our left turn signal. You can see it on your dash and in your crossover. Now we're going to check the right turn signal, dash, and you can see it in your crossover. Turn that off. Now we're going to test our hazards. You can see them working on our dash and in our crossovers. Go ahead and turn those off. And lastly, we're going to check our windshield wipers. We're going to turn them on all the way on high. They work on high. They work on low. Now we're going to test our fluid. And our fluid is working. The arms are secured to the bus, and the blades show no excessive wear. We're going to turn those off. Now we're going to move on to our switches. First, we're going to start with the defrost fans. We're going to turn them on high. They work on high. They work on low. As you can see, the blades are all present. None are broken or missing, and the cages are intact, and they are securely mounted. Now we're going to test our noise suppression system. Turning on a switch, it shuts the fans off, which lets us know that it is working. Turn the switch back off. Now we are going to test our driver heater, our stairwell heater, and our rear heater, all on high. All are working on low. Okay, now we're going to test our defrost mirror switch. We're going to turn it on, and we can see that it's working. We'll go ahead and shut that back off, and we would use that during inclement weather. Our strobe light is on and it is working, and we will test that during our walk back. Now we're going to check our driver dome and interior lights, making sure they're all on. All the lenses are clean, present, none are broken or missing. Now we'll shut those off. Now we're going to make sure that our master switch is in the on position, and it is. Now we are going to test our ambers. We're going to be able to see that they're working on our panel and our dash. Now we're going to test our red warning system. We're going to open our door. When we open our door, the door opens freely. Our stairwell light is lit. We can see that our crossing gate has deployed. Our stop sign has deployed and it is working. And you also see your reds working on your panel and on your dash. Now we're going to shut the door. And we can see that the system disengaged, which tells us that our master is working. So after we finish our switches, now we're going to move on to our operations. First thing we're going to do is apply our foot to the service brake, and we're going to check our gear shift, making sure that it moves freely in all directions. And you also hear your backup beeper as well. Now we're going to put the bus in drive, and we are going to test our parking brake by giving the bus some gas, and the parking brake is holding. Now we're going to release the parking brake. As we move forward, we're checking to make sure that our speedometer is working. The steering wheel is not have more than 2 inches or 10 degrees of play. Bus is not leaning to one side or the other. As we applied our service brake, the bus stopped. That concludes our operations. Now we will shut the bus down to do our walk back. We're going to shut the bus off, turn the key all the way to the left. As we walk to the back of the bus, you're going to be checking the tops of the seats, making sure they are securely mounted. They're not ripped or torn. As you make your way to the back, that noise that you hear is the No Child Left Behind. She will reset the system, and it's reset. While we are back there, you're going to be checking your emergency exit. You're opening the door, making sure the door opens freely, the lights and buzzers have come on, and that the handle is operational. As you continue forward, you're going to be checking the seat bottoms, making sure they're securely mounted, they're not ripped or torn. Now we're going to check our back emergency roof exit. Okay, so now we're going to show you how to demonstrate the emergency exit roof hatch, and we have two. You're going to pop it up, and as you see, you can also see that our strobe light is working. You are going to turn the red knob to the exit, push the button inward, the hatch will open up, lights and buzzers come on, secure the hatch back in place. You're going to turn the button back to latched and pull it back down. As you continue forward, you're going to continue to check the bottoms of the seats. We also have two emergency window exits. So now we're going to check the emergency window exits. We have two of them. We're going to demonstrate by lifting the handle, opening the window, the lights and buzzers come on, and now you will shut the handle down. She will continue to check the bottom of the seats as she continues forward to make sure they are securely mounted and not ripped or torn. Okay, so as we come forward, she's going to continue checking the seats. Now we are going to check our emergency and safety equipment. We're going to start with our red emergency box. It has 3 reflective triangles, and it also does not have any fuses because this bus works on a circuit breaker system. Now we also deem our 2-way radio as a safety feature, making sure that it works, and also we test our horn, and it is working as well. Now we're going to check our emergency equipment compartment. We're going to check our first aid kit and our body fluid cleanup kit, making sure they're both securely mounted and fully stocked with sealed packages. We're going to test making sure our fire extinguisher is securely mounted, pen is in place, it is fully charged, and it has a current inspection sticker. Now we're going to close the door. And as we're coming down, we're going to check our student mirror and our visor, making sure they're both securely mounted, they're not cracked or broken, and seals are intact, not excessively worn. As you sit in the seat, your seat is secured to the floor, adjusted to you. Seat belt moves freely. It clasps and it's not excessively worn. After your seat belt is latched, You are going to be checking all your windows, mirrors, and glass, making sure they're all present, clean, none are broken or missing. You will be checking the seals, making sure they are intact and not excessively worn. Okay, so now we're going to have the examiner exit the bus to check the outside lights. First, they're going to ask them to start with our low beams, and they are working. Examiner will give them a thumbs up. Now we're going to test the high beams. They are working. Examiner will give you a thumbs up. Now we're going to test the hazards. Examiner will give them a thumbs up. Now we're going to test the right turn signal, also from the front and the side of the bus. Now we're going to ask them to check the left turn signal from the front and from the side of the vehicle. They will give them a thumbs up. Now we're going to test the ambers. They will give them a thumbs up when they're working. And now we will test the reds, and they will give them a thumbs up. Okay, so now we're going to ask the examiner to move to the rear of the bus. When the examiner gets to the rear of the bus, we're going to ask them to test our turn signals. Left, thumbs up. Now we're going to ask them to test the right. They'll give us a thumbs up. Now we're going to have them turn on the hazards. They're going to give us a thumbs up. Test the brakes, apply the brake, and those are working. Now we're going to have them do the ambers. Those are working. Examiner will give you a thumbs up. Now they're going to open the door. Examiner will give you a thumbs up when you test the reds. All is working. Now you're going to ask them to meet you at the door. All right, now we're going to test our mirror brackets and our hood latch, making sure our mirror brackets are securely mounted, all bolts are present, hood latch is secured and not excessively worn. We're also going to test our crossing gate as we move around. It is securely mounted, the bladder is full, the pin is in place, and we hear no leaks. We're going to continue to move around to our other mirror brackets, checking, making sure they're securely mounted. Our other hood latch, making sure it's securely mounted, not excessively worn. Now we're going to open the hood, making sure that the hood opens freely. There are no cracks in the fiberglass, and the hinges are operating properly. And they are. Now we are going to start with our coolant reservoir, making sure it's securely mounted. It's between add and max, cap is tight and present, and I see no leaks. Our power steering reservoir, securely mounted. It's between add and max, cap is tight and present, and I see no leaks. We are going to test our oil and transmission. Oil we will test on a cool engine daily. Transmission you will test weekly on a warm engine. Both need to be between add and fill. Now we're going to our steering column, making sure it's securely mounted. It's not bent or twisted. The U-joints are securely mounted and they are well greased. Now we're going to move on to our gearbox, making sure it's securely mounted. All bolts are present. There are no missing bolts or cracks in the gearbox. Checking our pitman arm, making sure it is securely mounted. All bolts are present. Castle nut and cotter pins are present. Now we're going to move on to our frame and axle, making sure they're securely mounted. There's no cracks, dents, or welds. Our leaf springs are securely mounted. There's no cracks, dents, or welds. They are in alignment. None are broken or missing. We're going to test our mounts, our U-bolts, and our shackles, making sure they are present. None are broken or missing. Now we're going to move into our shock absorber, making sure it's securely mounted. All bolts are present. I see no cracks or leaks. We're testing our air and ABS lines, making sure they're securely mounted. They're not rubbing together, and I hear no leaks. We're going to be moving into our air chambers, making sure they're securely mounted. There's no cracks or dents. I hear no leaks. Checking our push rod and slack adjuster, making sure they're securely mounted. There's no cracks or missing parts, and their angle should be greater than 90 degrees. Moving into our brake drum, making sure it's securely mounted. There are no contaminants of oil or dirt, and our linings show no excessive wear. Checking our inner and outer tire rims, making sure they're securely mounted. There's no cracks, dents, or welds. Checking our inner and outer tires. They're smooth to the touch. There are can be no less than 4/32 tread. There's no cuts or bulges, and they are evenly worn. Checking all of our lug nuts, making sure they're present. None are missing, and they're not loose. There's no excessive rust or moisture. Checking our hub oil cap and seal, making sure it's securely mounted. All bolts are present and you see no leaks. Checking your valve stems, making sure they're securely mounted. Cap is tight and present, and you would check inflation daily with the proper gauge. Now we will shut the hood and continue on with the pre-trip. So now we're going to start with the overview. We are going to check to make sure that the vehicle is not leaning to one side or the other, which would indicate a suspension problem or a flat tire. We're checking underneath to make sure there's no fresh leaks of oil, grease, coolant, or fuel. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. We're going to make sure all of our windows, lenses, reflectors, reflective tape, and mirrors are present. None are broken or missing, and they are the proper color. So our clearance lights are working. Our red lights are working. All of our glass is present. None is broken or missing. Our low beams are working. Our hazard lights are working, which are also our turn signals on a different circuit. Now we're moving to the side of the bus. We're going to start at the top and work our way down. Our clearance lights are working. All our window and glass is present. None is broken or missing. Our stop sign is working and it is deployed. Our hazard is working, which is also our turn signal on a different circuit. Our current inspection sticker is on the side of the bus. Now we are going to check our battery box. The door opens freely, the batteries are secure, there's no excessive corrosion on the terminals, the batteries are not bulging, and there is no debris in the compartment. Also checking that our reflectors and reflective tape are present on the side of our bus as well. Now we're going to go underneath. We are going to be checking our frame, axle, and cross members, making sure they're all present, none are broken or missing, and there are no cracks, dents, or welds. Now we will move to the rear of the bus. Okay, so now we're back at the rear of the bus. We're going to start at the top, work our way down. Our clearance lights are working. Our school bus reflective tape is present. Our reds are working. Our hazards are working, which are also our turn signals. Our tail lights are working, which are also our brake lights. Our backup lights we tested earlier, and you would check that with a buddy system. Our license plate lights are working. Our reflectors and reflective tape are present. All of our windows and glass are present. None are broken or missing. Our seals are intact. They're not excessively worn. Now we're going to open the door. The handle moves freely. The door opens. Checking to make sure that the bracket latches and it's secure. Hinges are working. We are checking to make sure our lights and buzzer have come on. Our floor tread is securely mounted and it's not excessively worn. Now we will shut the door. Okay, so once we're done with the back of the bus and we have shut the back door, we're going to be going to the underneath of the bus in the rear, but we're going to look from the side view. First thing we're going to do is check that our airbags are securely mounted, fully inflated. There's no cuts or bulges, and I hear no leaks. I'm checking my shock absorber, making sure they're both securely mounted. All bolts are present, and I see no leaks. I am checking all my cross members, making sure they're all present, none are broken or missing. Also checking the rear axle and exhaust system, making sure it is securely mounted and there's no cracks, dents, or welds. Now we're going to step back, start at the top on the side again, and we will work our way down. Our clearance lights are working. All of our windows and glass is present, none is broken or missing. Our reflectors and reflective tape are present. Okay, now we're going to check our fuel tank. Going to check our fuel door, making sure it opens freely. Cap is present and tight. You see no leaks from any of the lines. Now we're checking underneath. We're checking the cage and tank, making sure they're securely mounted. There's no cracks, there's no dents, and we see no leaks of fuel. All right, now we're going to continue forward to the front of the bus. We are going to be checking our hazard light, which is also our right turn signal. Our current inspection sticker is on the other side. Now we're checking our DEF tank. Going to open the door, making sure it opens freely. Cap is tight and present. We see no leaks on any of the lines. Also checking to make sure the tank is secure. There's no cracks or leaks on the tank. Now we will be checking also that our landing light is working. Now we're going to be checking our entry, making sure that the doors open freely. All glass is present. None is broken or missing. All seals are intact, not excessively worn. We're going to be checking our stairwell for any hazards or debris, making sure that our tread is secure and not excessively worn. Now we're going to be checking our handrails, making sure they're securely mounted. There's no missing bolts or brackets. This concludes my pre-trip inspection.